Hello there, grandchildren. Welcome back to another episode of Granny Goatee's Food Review Show, where Granny Goatee reviews your favorite foods. Thank you once again for joining me on another episode, grandchildren. I appreciate everybody that is here and that is putting time in to go ahead and watch these videos, and I hope that they are entertaining for you. If you're here for the first time, please like the video and subscribe and turn on that notification bell, okay? Because it's going to be a good one, all right? Today we're going to be reviewing the Matcha McFlurry here in Phuket, Thailand, and the pineapple pie. Now, I have done the pineapple pie before, but I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to dip the pineapple pie into the Matcha McFlurry and see how it tastes and give you my honest review. If you want to see the one just on the pineapple pie, which was one of the best pies from any fast food restaurant I've ever had, you can go back a little bit earlier to the beginning of the channel, my first Thailand trip, or you can go into my playlist to the Thailand first round and go in and watch that video, okay, grandchildren? Now, this was total 94 baht, which comes down to around high end to low around $3. It's 35 baht, which is about $1 for the pineapple pie, and 59 baht for the Matcha McFlurry. Okay, now before we get into this, I want to tell you a little bit about matcha, what it is, where it comes from, its history. Okay, grandchildren? So matcha is a finely ground powder of specially grown and processed green tea leaves that originated in China and spread to Japan. The production of compressed tea was banned in China in 1391, thus matcha was abandoned there, but it continued to develop in Japan thereafter. Okay, grandchildren? And starting off in China and going into Japan, because of this ban, it ended up just developing there. When the method of shaded growing was invented in Japan in the 15th century, matcha became a bright green tea instead of the brown that it had been before. Tea plants used for matcha are shade grown for 3 to 4 weeks before their harvest, and then the stems and the veins are completely removed during the processing. And during shade growth, the plant Camellia sinensis, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, produces more theanine and caffeine. And the powdered form of matcha is, once it's processed and the powdered form of matcha is created, it's consumed differently from tea leaves and tea bags. Usually it's suspended in some type of a liquid, usually milk or water. Okay, grandchildren? As far as the history of green tea matcha is concerned, in China during the Tang Dynasty, dated between 618 and 907 AD, tea leaves were steamed and formed into compressed tea bricks for storage and trade. According to Lu Yu's The Classic of Tea, which is dated to 760 to 762 AD, tea was first made roasted in compressed tea and solid form over boiled in solid form over a fire. I'm sorry, grandchildren, I'm messing that up. It was roasted compressed tea in solid form over a fire, and then grinding it in a wooden grinder called a nian. Then, after boiling the water in a pot, then adding salt to it, the tea, once it boiled, the tea is then added to the powder of the brick and then boiling until it starts to foam up. And once it foams up, the tea was ready to be consumed. Okay? Now in Japan, after it was abandoned in China, the first documented evidence of tea dates to the 9th century. It is found in an entry in the Nihon Koki having to do with the Buddhist monk Eichu, who is thought to have brought some tea back when he returned from China. And sometime later, matcha is generally believed to have been introduced to Japan from the Song Dynasty, which is from China, by Zen monk Eisai in 1191, along with the tea seeds. Okay, and it began to grow in popularity thereafter, especially among the upper echelon of the Japanese society from the 14th to the 16th century. Okay, grandchildren? Now, without further ado, before this ice cream melts on us, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, now this is a Matcha McFlurry. It's still McFlurry. It's still kind of solid. It's not it has not melted yet. Take a look at that. Excuse me, grandchildren. Take a look at that. Now we're going to be dipping our pineapple pie into this Matcha McFlurry. All right, let's try it on its own first. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, look at that. That looks great. I love the color. Now, Granny Goatee did not know about matcha really until her first trip to Japan, where she found matcha in everything. And I mean everything. And I really loved it. And then after that, I started to drink green tea. And now I'm a bit of a green tea-aholic. That classic vanilla flavor, the same frozen yogurt. They just have some powdered matcha, grounded up in here, and added it to this frozen yogurt, and it's not overpowering. It is not overwhelming. You could see the grounded matcha. It just blended in. It also has Oreos, so the Oreos are offering a nice chocolatey flavor. I really like that. That matcha, which tends to be a little bit bitter, just add this complexity. It adds its own complexity to this McFlurry. It's rather nice. The McFlurry itself usually is very sweet, and that bitterness really elevates it, cuts through it. It's wonderful. I really like it. It's almost like it levels off the sweetness, making this dessert not as sweet as you would get from a normal McFlurry or any other McFlurry that I've reviewed before. The Grandma McFlurry, the butterscotch one, those were so sweet. This is about half that sweetness, and it is because of that grounded up matcha that they have in here. Okay, now this video is going to be a combination of the pineapple pie and the McFlurry. I'm going to dip it in while the pineapple pie is still hot, but I want to give you a look at this pie. This pie, grandchildren, was one of the most delicious pies that Granny Goatee has ever had from any fast food restaurant. I can't wait to eat it again. It was perfectly crispy on the outside and wonderfully sweet with that bursting pineapple flavor on the inside. I think I gave it an 8 point, in the high 8s or the low 9s when I reviewed this on my first trip here. So I'm not going to go ahead and bite into it on its own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in here, okay? And this is for my satisfaction and for your enjoyment. So welcome to this ride. Here we go. All right, let's get a nice amount of matcha ice cream on here. Oh, that looks like it's perfect. Oh, no party fouls today. Take a look at that. Wow. All right, here we go. Oh. Did I drop? Of course I did. Any of my loyal subscribers who have been watching for a while know this, but almost in every episode, Granny Goatee party fouls, when she does, it's not normally on herself, but this time it's all over my shorts. We're gonna leave it alone. We're moving on. Look at the inside of this pie. This pie is exceptional. Crispy on the outside, sweet on the inside. When you put the matcha on here, you really kind of just lose that flavor of that pie. I'm sorry, you lose the flavor of the matcha because the pie is so sweet. All right, here we go before it drips everywhere. I think I'm making pie filling all over my pants. That is so good. The Matcha McFlurry actually cuts through the sweetness of the pie as well. That matcha is so overpowering. Oh my gosh, I am making a mess, but it has to be done. Oh my gosh. That is so good. Wow. Wow, grandchildren. That is such a good combination. Granny Goatee approved. Definitely hit the spot. That pineapple pie is heavenly. If you're in Thailand, or if you're coming for the first time, just please stop by a McDonald's, grandchildren, and get one of these pineapple pies. And even on its own, oh my gosh, even on its own, it is so good. It is just sweet and delicious, and you could tell that they are using really good pineapples, probably Thai pineapples if you ask me. Okay, but if they have the Matcha McFlurry, you have to do it together. You get that Matcha McFlurry, you put it on top of that pie, eat it, enjoy it, love it. Come back and tell me what you think in the comments section. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, grandchildren. It helps put out the video. If you enjoyed Granny Goatee's content, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Hopefully it's going to be those curly fries. Have a good day, grandchildren. Bye-bye.